Okay, index law 2. Before we start with index laws, let's just make sure that we understand cancelling. So let's go, what's 5 divided by 5 is 1. that's 5 divided by 5. They cancel to get 1. How about 12 on 15? We're going to simplify that by dividing by 3. 3 4s, 3 5s. So we're looking at simplifying fractions as well as cancelling. All fundamental parts of this index law 2. Let's just rub that out and start again. Okay. So index law 2, what we're looking at is dividing like bases. So there's my bases 2, and I'm dividing like bases. When I divide like bases, I'm going to subtract my powers. So just by the rule, I'm going to go, my answer is going to be 2 to the 5 minus 2. What's 5 minus 2? 3. So I know my answer is going to be 2 cubed. Hey, how does that work? Okay, so let's get back into seeing how that works. Then it will be much easier to see. I'm going to write that again. 2 to the 5 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 squared is 2 times 2. And because of our cancelling, we know that those 2's cancel each other out. And what are we left with? We're left with 3 2's, which is our answer over here. So you can sort of see how this law works. I'm going to say, on the numerator, how many 2's do you see? On the denominator, how many 2's do you see? After they've cancelled, how many are left over? So if there's 5 on the top and 2 on the bottom, there's going to be 3 left on the top. And that's where we get this, the 3 as the power. The minute, I do not want to see a divided by sign in your book at all. So the first thing you do when you see a divided by sign is get rid of it, which is 5 to the 8 on 5 to the 4. I'm going to say, how many 5's do you see in the numerator on the top? I see 8 5's. How many 5's are on the bottom? You're going to say 4. After they cancel, how many are left over? Well, these 4 cancel out 4 of them, don't they? And how many are left over? There's 4 on the top. So, if we were to use our rule, we would have 8 minus 4. What's 8 minus 4? 4. 5 to the 4, 5 to the 4. So that's using a rule, and this is using just cancelling. Cancelling is the preferred option, but there will be times, as you see, that we're going to need to use the rule. Okay. How many B's do you see on top? I see 77. How many B's on the top? On the bottom, there are 7 on the bottom. After they cancel, how many are left over? 70. How easy is that? Okay. Just like in index law 1, we are going to look at the numbers first. So all I'm looking at are the numbers. I'm not looking at the ends, I'm just looking at the numbers. And I'm going to divide both by 10 and then halve them. So in my answer, the 100 on 40 simplifies to 5 on 2, fully simplified. Then I'm going to look at my letters. I'm looking at the ends and I'm going, how many ends are on top? You're going to say 95. How many ends are on the bottom? 5. After they cancel, how many are left over? You're going to say, there's 90 left over on the top. So that is the answer. You can also write it as like that. It doesn't really matter. Okay. So you can remember, I really, really, really don't want to see that divided by sign. So the first thing we do is we're going to 12q to the 34 on 4q to the 30. We're going to get our numbers and we're going to cancel the 12 and the 4 will just become 3. I could do a 3 on 1, I don't think it matters. Okay, then we're going to pick a colour. Q's. How many Q's are on the top? There's 34. How many Q's on the bottom? There's 30. How many left over? There's 4 left over on the top. So you can leave that as a fraction, or you could, it's just 3q to the power 4. They just keep getting harder and harder, don't they? Oh my gosh, can hardly wait to get to that one. So, we're going to do our numbers first. This is just like fractions, core skill cancelling, isn't it? So we're going to cancel the numbers. Let's go the 3 and the 6, and that goes 2. That 2 will go into the 8 and go 4. That 4 will go into the 12 and go 3. So I know there's a 3 left over on the top, and there is a 1 on the bottom, but we'll just see how that goes. You can see how core skills is really important. You need to know your fractions. Let's pick a letter, A, B, C, D, E, F. So let's do F first. How many F's are on top and how many F's are on bottom? There's 5 and 2, so that means there's 3 left over and they're on the top. What's the next letter? J. There's 8 on the top and 3 on the bottom. So that would be 5 left over on the top. And you're right again, we don't really need that vinculum. The answer is just a number. 3, F cubed, J to the 5. That's simplified. So that and that are the same, just as I could start with 2/4 and go equals a half. That and that are equal. Our answer down the bottom there is just simplified. And last. Let's do the numbers first. So we're looking at all the numbers. This looks like fun, doesn't it? Let's go with the 15 and 25. 5 goes into them. 16 and 12. 4. 4 4s, 4 3s. 81. Let's go 9. 9 9s, 9 3s. That 3 goes into that 9 once. That 3 goes into that 3, gone. And I'm out of numbers. What's left? What's left with my numbers? The only numbers that I've got left are 5, 4, and 3. So in my answer, 5 and 4 is 20 on 3. Okay, let's pick a letter. Let's go green. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So let's do F first because F comes first in the alphabet, no other reason. How many F's do I have? So there's 15 on top and 9 on bottom. That means there's 6 left over on the top. The letters are easy, easier than the numbers. G's. 12 on the top, 10 on the bottom. There are 2 left over on the top. And H, again they're left over on the top. They're 34 and 30. So there's our answer. They won't necessarily all be lined up like that, and sometimes you can get them left on the bottom. There'll be good questions in the textbook. What are you waiting for?